this is Melissa. I am 36 weeks pregnant and 5 days, and I'm just going to do a little pregnancy update. I've been wanting to do this through my whole pregnancy, and I'm almost done, and I still have yet to do anything. So here I am. I have 5 kids already, and baby is due December 8th. So this week I went to the chiropractor because I was having just a lot of pain in my hips, and figured that would help. So I filmed a little video before I went, so I'll just insert that right here. Oh, I am headed to the chiropractor. I have been in quite a lot of pain last few weeks. Just I can't sit for very long at all. Yeah, after a few minutes of sitting, my hips, when I stand up, my hips are like molded into place. And so I'm like, I don't know, I feel like I've been like riding a horse for a long time or something. Like it's just that kind of like I can't straighten, and my whole pelvis just feels off, and the baby's really low. And so, yeah, some days are worse than others. I think the more I have to sit in a day, the worse it is. Or even just like walking around a lot, like cleaning out my basement and stuff has been hard on my hips too. And then I can pretty much only lie on one side of my body. So I can lie on my left side. If I lie on my right side, I like can't breathe very good. And so I'm pretty much always sleeping on my left side. And so then that gets really sore too. So yeah. I don't know, I'm going to the chiropractor for the first time this pregnancy, and I am really hoping that he can help me feel better because it's not fun. So after I went to the chiropractor, I felt like a little bit better, not really much. But then after, like, he told me it would take a little while for things to settle. And I noticed by that evening, like, I was able to lie on my right side without struggling for breath, and that was huge for me. So I was quite out in my neck and like my upper back, and then my hips, of course, were out a bit too, and my shoulder was super tight, and it's still kind of tight. So but anyways, just aligning that in the top really helped, and I was able to breathe a lot better, and sitting didn't hurt as much. I also got out my yoga ball, and I've been sitting on that and doing some exercises on that, trying to do it every day or every couple of days. And I found that that's really helped me too. I don't know why it took so long to get it out of storage, but probably because it was buried. But yeah, it's been a huge help for me. And if I sit on that instead of sitting on a chair, it makes a big difference too. I'm already getting breathless. So yeah, that's been a really big help. I actually went 2 days in a row because he wanted to see if things like would go back to how they were, or if that adjustment helped, and it totally helped, and he didn't have to do much more adjusting. So now he just told me to come in if I feel I need it, but otherwise I'm going to see him the week before I'm due, just so he can get everything aligned and good. And also with when I had Jacob, 5 days, so he's my third 4 pregnancies ago, he was super, super low, and my hips were just killing me, and I was just feeling done. I didn't want to be pregnant anymore. And so I was like 5 days before I was due, I went to the chiropractor, and I was just like, can you just adjust me, put me into labor, do whatever you can, because there's this adjustment that they can do that just really aligns everything. And anyway, so he did that, and then I had a massage right after and told her the same thing. And then within an hour after that, I went into labor. And so I haven't tried it with any of my other pregnancies, but I'm going to try it again this time if I don't go into labor before that. But my mom's coming on the 5th, and I really want to have the baby like right after she comes. So I also really waddle. it's really sad, but I totally waddle now, and everybody laughs at me because I look funny, but it's I don't know how else to walk. Like that's just everything just is loosening, and yeah, just doesn't feel good. But he hasn't been up in my ribs like I have had with some of my other pregnancies. He's been just mostly in my hips. So I don't know which is worse, but it's been nice not to have pain in my ribs too. So sleep has actually been pretty good this last week. I had some crazy dreams. Like last night I had a dream that it was like the end of the world and there was buildings collapsing all around us and sinking into the ocean and stuff. And it was, I don't even live near the ocean, but I was there. Anyway, it was intense. And I didn't even eat anything weird. I had an apple before bed. So sometimes if I have dairy before bed, I'll have really strange dreams. So anyway, but sleep has actually been pretty good. And the last 2 nights, we have got my girls to sleep with the youngest, Grace. She's 2.5, and she has been waking up like pretty much every night and wants me to read her stories or rock her, like wrap her in a blanket and rock her. She gets leg cramps, and that's like super comforting for her. But getting up in the middle of like 3 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the morning and wrapping a toddler up in a blanket and rocking them in a chair is not comfortable and not fun. And so the last few times she's asked me to do it, I'm like, no, I'll just lie here. We got a double bed for her so that I could lay with her. And it's pretty comfortable. But I'm like, I'll just lay with you and I can read you a book if you really want. And but sometimes she'll just cry for a while and want me to rock her, and then finally she'll give in. But if it's on the weekend, then Mark will take care of her. But during the week, he's like, I have to get up early, so fair enough. But yeah, her bed is, we were planning on building a triple bunk bed, but we haven't yet. And so her mattress is on the floor. So I have to like get down on the floor and get up off. Like getting down on the floor is not bad, but getting up is difficult. So yeah, bending over and things like that is really hard, or getting really hard. Like I can't really touch my toes anymore, and I can't put shoes on by myself half the time. I need help putting my shoes on. And so that's, yeah, been fun too. So anyway, the last couple nights she's slept with, one night she slept with Adelaide, our 6-year-old, and the other night she slept with Leilani, the 11-year-old, and she did not wake up all night, and it was awesome. So we might just keep doing that, just get somebody to sleep with her, and maybe she'll sleep through the night, because I'm like, I'm not going to be able to keep this up once I have another baby as well. Heartburn. I've been having heartburn at night, and one thing that has totally helped me is Natrum Phos. So Natrum Phos is this it's a homeopathic remedy, tissue salts as well. Basically it's been a lifesaver for me, because I don't know, taking a lot of Tums isn't really good for you, and I have done that other pregnancies, but this time I didn't want to, and so I thought, well, I'll try this. It's supposed to help with heartburn, and it's totally helped. Sometimes I'll have to take a couple doses, but it really helps. So it's an alternative to Tums. The other thing with insomnia that I've been taking, it's another Highlands one. It's called Calms, and it has magnesium in it, which will also help. But there you go. But yeah, it just says relieve symptoms of simple nervous tension and sleeplessness. So if I get like super anxious at night, and I just kind of like, I don't know, everything I just feel like my skin's crawling and I can't relax, then I take a couple of those, and within like 15 minutes I'm asleep. So it totally helps, and they're like non-habit forming and the side effects, so they've been awesome for me this pregnancy. And yeah, but this last week, like I said, it hasn't been too bad. I've actually been able to sleep pretty good. which is nice. But when you have to get up and look after a toddler in the night, it's like every time I get up, which it would be more than once in a night usually, that she would wake up, then I have to go to the bathroom, and then I'm thirsty, and then that makes me have to go to the bathroom again. And speaking of weightless, I have gained probably 38, I think 38 pounds this pregnancy, which is, I think, more than I've ever gained in any pregnancy before. And it's also bad because I started 10 pounds heavier this time than I have other times. I never actually got back down to my pre-pregnancy weight. And yeah, so it's kind of getting scary seeing the numbers go up on the scale, and I'm really hoping that I don't gain too much more weight, but I still have like 4 weeks to go. So yeah, there are 3 weeks to go, I guess now, almost 3.5. So yeah, it's yeah. Anyway, one thing that I'm planning to do this next week is to go off of dairy. I like to go off of dairy a couple weeks at least before I have the baby. A couple times I waited too long to go off it, and I just like went off it right before I had the baby or whatever, and my babies just are affected by dairy, and so it obviously was still in my system. So I find that I have to go off it like 2 to 4 weeks before having the baby to get it fully out of my system, and then I have happier babies. So yeah, I've noticed that's a big thing, and so hopefully that will help me maybe not to gain much more weight. I don't know. I haven't been eating very good this pregnancy either. This baby likes desserts, and a lot of other pregnancies I don't really like desserts at all. And we had Halloween too, so that was bad. So anyway, yeah, that's something that I'm gonna have to work hard to get all that off after, but I guess I'll worry about that when the time comes. I had my appointment on Wednesday, and I got my package of papers that I bring home that the midwives fill out when they come. So that's super exciting because that just means that it's close. And so I went in for my appointment, and she was trying to find the heartbeat, and she couldn't find the heartbeat, and she's like moving around like it just, well, I'm like, oh, first of all, I was like, is the baby's head down? Because the chiropractor wanted to know if he needed to do an adjustment to help the baby to turn. And she's like, I'm pretty sure the head is down. And then she was trying to find the heartbeat, and she's like, and she tried like 3 or 4 different places before she finally found it. But then she was like, it's not really where I thought it should be. She's like, I'm going to send you for an ultrasound just because I just want to be sure. She's like, it's probably head down, but we just don't want to risk it not being, especially since I've already had a breech delivery with 2 babies ago, which is an awesome story too. But so yeah, she wanted to send me in for an ultrasound, which I've had so many ultrasounds this pregnancy, and so many things come up that I was just like, please not another one. But anyway, they were able to get me in like an hour after my appointment, so I didn't have to wait around too long because I have to drive like an hour to get to my appointment. And I was going to go grocery shopping and everything, and ended up not being able to do anything else other than that. So anyway, so then she sent me to get this ultrasound, and everything was fine. The baby's head was down, and his measurements are all good, and he's developing. He's like a little bit on the smaller side. They were a little concerned with his head at first. They were just kind of like the head's a little small. Like, is that normal? Like, do you normally have kids with small heads? I'm like, yeah, I guess I kind of do. Like, none of my kids really have big heads. I have a couple that have bigger heads than the other ones, but yeah, probably half of them have smaller heads. So anyway, which is awesome. So I'm really excited that my baby has a small head. So anyway, the measurements were all good and everything, and Leilani was able to come with me and see the baby, so that was kind of fun. But because I'm so far along, it's kind of hard to see. Like, you couldn't really see him super detailed or anything, but he's pretty squished in there. But yeah, we filmed a little bit, so I'll just put that video in here.
Yeah, so there's the eyeball right in here. There's the nose. And the other one would be right over in here. Because there's just, like I was saying, it's kind of hard to see. I don't think I'm going to get the profile right now due to position. Oh, I might be able to a little bit. Yeah, hand right in front of the face. Again, not as pretty as we'd like it.
So he is just the cutest little thing. He has like these little chubby cheeks. I don't know if that's just because he's squished, but so cute. And I feel like he's gonna look like my oldest because he has just kind of a rounder head and, like, I don't know, his eyes look bigger and his lips look like pretty full. Right from the beginning, I'm like, he looks like he has big lips, but I don't know, you can't really tell from the scans, but we'll see. I am just getting super, super excited to meet him. I'm still feeling a little anxious with everything that needs to be done with our renovations, but as far as like having him and meeting him, I am just like so excited. And I actually really enjoy doing home births. This is my third home birth. And I just like every time, like, I'm just gonna do it better. Anyway, I'm just really excited for this time around. So my camera totally cut off at the end and I didn't realize, but that's the end of my 36-week update. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!